The sound of machinery hummed through the vast warehouse of Metro Logistics, one of the busiest supply chain hubs in the city. Rows of towering steel shelves lined the space, packed with heavy pallets of goods waiting to be transported. The warehouse floor was a whirlwind of activity, workers moving swiftly, forklifts weaving between aisles, and supervisors shouting instructions over the deafening hum of conveyor belts. Among the workers was Jordan Miller, a 26-year-old warehouse assistant eager to prove himself. He had only been on the job for a month but was ambitious and determined to make an impression. However, one major problem loomed over Jordan: he had never received proper training on operating a forklift. The warehouse was already behind schedule, and the pressure was mounting. Ben Carter, the shift supervisor, was frustrated. "We need those pallets moved now," he barked, eyeing the growing backlog of shipments. "Where's Ross?" Ross, the senior forklift operator, was nowhere to be found. Another worker chimed in. "He called in sick this morning." Ben cursed under his breath. There was no time to waste. His gaze landed on Jordan, who had been shadowing Ross for the past few weeks. "Jordan, you've seen how it's done, right? Get in the forklift and start moving those pallets." Jordan hesitated. "But I haven't actually driven one before." Ben waved off his concern. "It's not rocket science. Just be careful and get it done. We can't afford delays." Jordan's heart pounded. He had seen Ross operate the forklift dozens of times. How hard could it be? Swallowing his fear, he climbed into the driver's seat and gripped the controls. At first, Jordan moved cautiously. He raised the forks and lifted a heavy pallet of industrial supplies. The machine wobbled slightly, but he managed to steady it. "All right," he muttered, feeling a small sense of confidence. But confidence turned to recklessness. As the minutes passed, Jordan became more comfortable, moving faster, weaving through the aisles with minimal hesitation. He didn't realize that proper forklift operation required more than just pushing levers. It required precision, training, and awareness of the surroundings. He made his first mistake when he lifted a pallet too high, tilting the load forward. A box of fragile goods tumbled down, shattering on the concrete floor. "Careful, Jordan," a worker yelled. Yeah, he muttered, his face burning with embarrassment. He quickly lowered the forks and kept moving. The real trouble began when Jordan had to navigate a tight aisle. Two workers, Miguel and Danny, were stacking boxes a few feet ahead. Jordan miscalculated his turn, and the rear of the forklift clipped a shelving unit. The impact was subtle but disastrous. The shelves, stacked to capacity, trembled. A few boxes teetered on the edge before tumbling down. Miguel shouted, "Watch it." Jordan panicked and overcorrected, slamming the accelerator instead of the brakes. The forklift lurched forward. The forks, still raised, struck another shelving unit at an angle. A chain reaction unfolded in mere seconds. The first shelf wobbled, then collapsed entirely. The force of the crash caused the adjacent racks to follow, toppling like dominoes. The entire aisle transformed into a cascade of falling metal and merchandise. Workers screamed as they scrambled to safety. A deafening crash filled the air as thousands of pounds of products crashed onto the floor, sending up a thick cloud of dust and debris. Silence followed the chaos. Then, groans of pain. Jordan sat frozen in the forklift, eyes wide with shock. Miguel was pinned under a fallen shelf, groaning in pain. Danny had managed to jump away in time but had sustained a deep cut to his arm from the falling debris. Other workers slowly emerged, coughing from the dust and surveying the wreckage. Ben stormed onto the scene, his face ashen. "What the hell just happened?" Jordan, shaking, stammered, I didn't mean to. "Didn't mean to?" Ben shouted. "Look at this mess. Look at Miguel." The warehouse manager, Lisa Brooks, arrived moments later, her expression grim as she surveyed the disaster. "Call an ambulance. Now." Miguel was rushed to the hospital with a fractured leg. Danny received stitches for his wound. The warehouse had suffered extensive damage, costing the company thousands in lost goods and repairs. Jordan sat in the manager's office, hands trembling. Lisa stared at him, then at Ben. Who authorized him to operate a forklift? Ben shifted uncomfortably. "We were short-staffed. I thought he could handle it." Lisa's voice was ice cold. You thought wrong. The accident led to a full-scale investigation. The company was fined for safety violations, and Lisa enforced strict new policies. Forklift operators must undergo formal training and certification. Supervisors must enforce safety regulations, no exceptions. Warehouse aisles must be clear of unnecessary obstructions. Employees should report safety concerns immediately. Regular safety drills must be conducted to prevent future incidents. As for Jordan, he was terminated for unauthorized equipment operation. But the guilt stayed with him. One mistake, a moment of misplaced confidence, had nearly cost someone their life. Miguel recovered after months of rehabilitation, but he never returned to warehouse work. Too dangerous, he said. I learned the hard way that safety is no joke. Ben was demoted and placed under strict oversight. The company could not afford another incident. The bigger picture, why training matters. Jordan's story is not unique. Every year, countless workplace accidents occur because of improper training, lack of supervision, and safety negligence. Forklifts, though essential for warehouse operations, can be deadly when misused. Forklift accidents account for thousands of injuries and fatalities annually. Most are preventable with proper training. What can be done to prevent another tragedy like Jordan's? Mandatory training and certification. No one should operate a forklift without the proper credentials. Supervisor accountability. Safety is not just a policy, it's a responsibility. Regular equipment checks. Faulty machinery can lead to disasters. Strict safety protocols, enforcing PPE, helmets, safety vests, boots, and proper warehouse organization prevents accidents. Emergency preparedness. Employees should know what to do in case of accidents. Jordan made a fatal mistake. But why you don't have to? If you work in a warehouse or any environment with heavy machinery, prioritize safety. Speak up, get trained, and never take shortcuts. Your life and your coworkers' lives depend on it. Don't let a moment of ignorance become a lifetime of regret. Stay trained. Stay safe. Like and share this video to spread awareness. Comment below, have you ever witnessed a workplace safety violation? Let's discuss how we can improve. Subscribe to PRIMESHIELD for more safety awareness content. This is PRIMESHIELD, shielding lives, one story at a time.